So we're hoping we're here. We're preparing to live stream, and it never shows whether we're on here or not. So let's just see what's happening now. Let me go here. What are you chewing on now that you're not supposed to? By the way, my dog's here with us tonight. I can tell she's going to be a real pain in the keister. It says we're live, so I'm good. I think we're live. So
Yes.
Welcome everybody to the full moon meditation with the Saint Augustine Reiki Exchange meetup. And tonight, of course, we have little Miss Sunshine over here that keeps chewing on her harness. Puppies. Anyway, Denise is not on tonight because Denise is not feeling well. So we're going to send a shout out to Denise and let her know that we are sorry she's not here. We miss her and we hope that she feels better pretty soon. Most of you guys know me. I'm Maureen Aruta. I am a Reiki master teacher, a certified nursing assistant, and my business is Healing with Mo. And I am also, a metaphysician, and I have the Mystic Light Center. And this thing just said it timed out, but we're going to double check because the last time I looked on Facebook, we were good. So let's see. No, it says we're live. It says we're live. It says we're going. So yeah, it says we're live now. You just never know. They give you so many different things. Technology is wonderful. I am, by the way, everybody, first of all, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being patient. If you are at home and you're having trouble hearing, then maybe use some headphones or earbuds or something, because sometimes you can hear better with that as opposed to just your equipment at home. And yeah, so enough about me, enough about all the crazy stuff going on right now. So tonight, it's just me and Miss Laura Hampton. Yay, Laura! Laura is a wonderful tarot reader. Not only that, but she is passionate about tarot. She is probably one of the most knowledgeable people I've ever met when it comes to tarot. Tarot is a very, as many of you practitioners already know, for those that you don't, it's an ancient form of divination. And it is so ancient that a lot of people don't really understand where it came from because it's so old, but it has a history. And if anybody ever wants to know about tarot, I always refer them to Laura Hampton because this girl knows her stuff. So without further ado, Laura, kind of like introduce yourself to everybody and say hello.
Hello. So my name is Laura. I do read tarot cards. I do have a tarot card reading business at Sandy Toe Tarot. I do it out on YouTube. I go to psychic fairs and read tarot cards, but I've been doing it for about 25 years. And Mo is exactly right. I'm very passionate about it. I just love it. Spirit definitely speaks to me through the cards, and you know, psychics and mediums have so many ways that they get messages from spirit. So this is just my way that I get the messages. So just a little bit about what tarot is. It is a divination tool. It's a deck of cards, 78 cards. 22 of them are major arcana cards, which means that's just the big milestones that are happening in your life. And the other 56 are more like everyday cards and people cards. And that's what makes tarot so powerful as a tool for guidance, because in those 78 cards and the combinations you can pull with those 78 cards, every single thing that could happen in a person's life is covered in that deck. And that's why it's so powerful.
Well, I was going to say, you know, I've been to your presentations that you do here, some of your workshops and stuff. I got to tell you, you know, tarot for me is very, very complicated, but Laura has a way of making it accessible to people that get kind of tied up in the minutiae. She makes it very simple for you to understand. And when you go to one of her presentations, you literally are reading the cards and doing it yourself. You like break into groups and you pull the cards out and you read for each other. And some of the coolest things happen. And it's amazing to see what happens in a group like that, especially for first time people that have never done it. She kind of goes over, gives you the background, and then basically turns you loose and oversees everything. So Laura, you do that the first Tuesday of every month?
The second Tuesday of every month.
Tuesday.
And I do about 30 minutes of instruction, and the rest of the hour and a half is people reading for each other. And I will read for people and then I help other people read. And it ends up being a lot of fun. So I
Mhm.
do encourage anybody that's interested in learning tarot to definitely come because you're going to learn things.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity for people to practice if they want to learn
Hmm.
how to read. But I also encourage people that are just wanting to get a reading to come out because, we need real world questions,
Hmm.
and that is the best way for us to practice. Those of us that want to practice. So it's a lot. It ends up being a lot of fun.
Yeah. And it is about the question too. It's very much about the question and having something in mind about what you want to know. So you can kind of do like a general read with the tarot cards, but they're in their element and using for their intended purpose. When you have someone who is sitting in front of you and asking you a question, is my house going to sell? Is my dog going to stay well? Will I have any challenges with my family in the next 6 months? Do you know those kind of like specific questions? It really does target, and it has been so helpful for so many people. And again, Laura, you've explained it to me too about it's kind of like telling a story. It's a story. The cards are a story.
They do end up telling a story based on the question that you have. And what they call it in tarot is a querent. The person that's asking the question is called a
It's a
querent.
querent. Mm-hmm.
So it does help to direct the reading if you have some specific question in mind. Although you can do general readings for, like, if you don't know what to ask, you can just say, what do I need to know right now? Or
Oh, that's nice.
what's coming up for me in the next 6 months? Or what do I not see coming? So there are ways that you can do it if you don't know what to ask. Um,
Wow.
yeah, but
I
it
have the
is
hardest time with the questions, Laura. That's always me because, I get hits and I know so many different things. So sometimes I'm just afraid to ask the question,
it is hard. It is hard
you
at first
know?
because and generally a yes or no question is kind of a down and dirty. It will give you a quick answer to what you want to
Mhm,
know. But the better readings come from more open-ended questions like who, what, when, where, how, those
mhm,
kinds of questions, because it gives
mhm.
spirit more room to talk to you and to deliver
Wow.
whatever messages
Mhm.
you want to deliver.
Wow. That's really cool. That's interesting. I always find out something new every time I talk to you.
It's endlessly fascinating. And I do tell the people in the workshop, it is not something you just learn and done. It is a
Mhm.
continuous unfolding. I'm
Yes.
still learning things all of the time. And that's what makes it kind of interesting and fun
Yeah,
and
it doesn't,
challenging. And
yeah, it's always something different. It's same thing, when I'm doing my healing work, I've been doing, energy work and intuitive work for, decades now. And the sessions that I do continue to morph, the things that I am able to do and access and the knowledge that I gain and what I'm able to assist somebody to connect with, continues to change. The stuff that I was doing 6 months ago is a lot different even than what I'm doing now. So I think anyone that's in the metaphysical realm, anyone that does it on a regular basis and is open to the guidance of, highest and best in spirit and asks for that guidance and asks to be that channel, I feel like that's an expansion for that person. And you do continue to expand. And tarot is no exception.
so I agree. It
Yeah.
is, yeah. And you talked about the story. It does kind of tell a story. Once you get all the cards out, you deal all the cards out, however it is that you do it, you're telling a story with people, with
Yeah.
actions, with it's just got a whole with plot. It's just got the whole story in there
The
for
whole
you.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think what we might do if you're up for it, Laura, is maybe we do a little, maybe I ask some questions.
Okay, let's do it. I'm all about that.
All right, well, let's do this. Let's go ahead and do the meditation and do
Okay.
that. Denise again is not here tonight, so I'm filling in for Denise. I'm wearing both hats as far as like the hostess with the hopefully the mostest, and also doing the meditation tonight. And as many of you know that have tuned in, when I do my meditations, I channel these. I do not know what I'm going to say, where I'm going to go. I am absolutely open to the guidance of spirit and the highest and best and frequency of love so that you, the viewer, and us here present, whether you're going to be here online later watching the recording or if you're here live watching it, that you will get what you need out of this one. It is always my intention to help channel what is needed the most in those moments in time. So I want everybody to close their eyes, get comfortable at home, and just relax. Wherever you're doing, whatever you're sitting in, just relax. Breathe in. And let that breath go gently and easily, relaxing on that exhale. There you go. Let's breathe in again. And let that breath go, releasing your body and your tension, being comfortable. Whether you're sitting or laying down, just be comfortable in your body and breathe. Breathing in that cleansing breath and releasing all the stress and all those things that no longer serve. Bringing that breath in a little deeper, a little longer, and then gently releasing, calming yourself, feeling your body, and feeling yourself in this now. Relax. Relax your toes, your feet, your heels, your ankles. Just relax. Relax your calves and your shins. Allow them to relax. Feel that relaxation move into your knees and into your thighs, and then gently move into your hips. We do store tension in all these areas of our body. So allowing these areas of our body to relax helps bring us into that parasympathetic state, that rest and digest, that healing frequency. Feel your torso as it relaxes, your chest, and your shoulders. Let those relax too. Release the tension in your arms, elbows, your wrists, your fingers, your thumbs. Relaxing your neck. Let the tension go. Relax your head, even your ears. Let those relax too. Bring your awareness to your third eye, that area on your forehead, in between your brows, above the nose, right there. Feel that third eye as it begins to open to help you on your journey today in this visualization of meditation. Allow yourself to journey. Allow yourself to walk in the lands that you love the most, whether that is the rivers, or the forests, or the deserts, or the mountains, or the ocean. Wherever you are in this beloved environment, allow yourself to be there. Allow yourself that grace to be present in your most beloved environment. This environment that you're visiting using your third eye is just as real as if you had gotten in your car and driven to your environment. This is inside of you, but it is also you. And this is your sacred space that you create for yourself in times of stress and in times of worry and in times of uncertainty. This is your sacred space where you rest and renew, where you go to call on the divine to give you comfort and love, where you call on Gaia to give you the grounding that you need so that you feel safe and secure. This is where you go, the sacred space where you are safe and protected and shielded from all the things that you need a break from. Be in this moment, be in this meditation, and be in this now, in your environment, where you find yourself and you allow yourself to just be. And in this environment where you just are, notice the light. Notice how the white light comes in and lights up your environment, showing you every detail with loving, beautiful, white light and grace. Every grain, every rock, every tree, every type of water, the marshes, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, waterfalls, the desert as well. But there is water there too, and it is in the cacti, and it is below the ground. But if you're in that environment, you feel the water as it moves there too. All of these environments are all connected. We are grateful to be here in this physical world, on this beautiful planet Earth, with so much variety and so much beauty. And acknowledging the different terrains, knowing that one is not better than the other. They are all equally as beautiful and serve their purposes and support us as needed. And in gratitude, we thank Gaia for holding this beautiful planet together for us to be here in the physical to experience physical life, to experience each other, and to experience the beauty of this wonderful world. This is not to say there aren't things that are worrisome, but in this moment right now, with all of us together in our sacred spaces, we let those things go. Because in this moment and in this sacred space, it holds no sway. And in this moment and in this sacred space, we intentionally release those things which no longer serve us, the worries and the cares, the concerns which mean nothing. Because there is nothing but this now. Time is not linear. It moves, it spirals, waves, it circles back, and everything that is old becomes new again, and new becomes old. And the endless cycle of regeneration and creation and love. Holding these truths within us, holding this knowledge within us, we move and we flow with the beauty of the no time. As we release those things that no longer serve, our bodies may feel warm as it burns off all those things energetically that no longer serve. know this is okay. For the friction of them leaving is causing this. And just as they are leaving, notice when the last one goes and the body begins to cool again. And the quiet and the calm is there with you once again on this journey. Now it's time to come back, to visit with one another, to learn some more interesting things, and to just have some fun and experience some joy and connection and love. So as we return, we come back from our sacred space and we acknowledge our bodies as we enter our bodies again, feeling our toes as they wiggle, our nose as it moves, our fingers as they move, our shoulders as we shrug all the old stuff off, our bodies as we feel the cool of the air and the warmth of our hearts. Come back to your bodies, come back to this now, come back together. Open your eyes and be present. That was interesting.
That was really good, Mo.
That
Wow.
was interesting. I never know where I'm going. It's like I feel something in my body and then just go, okay, this is where we're going tonight.
Yeah, that was really, really good.
I think the reason they did that is because we have to be reminded. I think we have to be reminded that the things that are happening in our world that seem so out of kilter and unsure. I mean, there's a lot of that happening right now. We've had so many crazy things happen in this last week in particular that are affecting not just the United States, but the entire world, just different things. And so we have to be reminded that we have the ability to go within and to find our calm center and reestablish that stuff within ourselves so that when we come back and we're dealing with the world, we can come from that full cup and that grounded perspective so that we don't lose our focus. Because that's when we get lost in things, is when we lose our focus, when the grounding comes up and we just worry. It's not worth it. I mean, probably 95% of the crap we worry about never happens. So
yeah, and I'll tell you where my mind went when we were going through that process is, can you do anything about it? And if you cannot do anything about it, you got to let it go.
Yeah, no, you can't. You can't do anything about it. Nothing you can do about it. You just have to experience. And you know, for some of us, like I'm in my sixth decade. I'll be 64 in July. So
Okay.
I'm actually in my seventh decade. I've had 6 decades. And I remember what my life was like when I was a child, when I was a teenager, in my 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and now my 60s. And there has always been in each decade of my life something that was like, oh my God, right? But I'm still here.
Yes, yes, yes.
And it didn't destroy me and it didn't overcome me. And it's not to say that I'm not concerned about everything out there, but we don't have to participate on a deep level. We don't have to do that. We can acknowledge it and send light and love to it. And we can, connect with our sense of the divine and ask for help from that loving source, however we name it. But honestly, that's about all you can do. You can only affect your orbit. But that's not, when I say only, I have to also say that that's probably the most important thing that you do, because when you are lightening your orbit, then that light shines out and other people start to light up. And that's how the change happens.
I was going to say, it becomes a ripple effect.
Absolutely. Always, when I hear about the ripple, I love that. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you've seen the picture of it, where the drop of water, the raindrop comes and hits a still pool, and then everything just ripples out. Well, so, when you're here and you're in the water and you call source and you say, I would like for you to just bathe this in your light, love, and healing, and we know that you are sending that to us, That's when you call in the raindrop. That's when you call in the drop that hits the surface of the water, and then from your calling moves out. So that's how we work in tandem with spirit to shift our lives and to also shift the frequency of everything.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
it takes is that. It's the ask that's so important, right?
Yes. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. So I'm ready to kind of play with the cards.
Okay, let's
I
play.
always look at it as a play too.
It is. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
So gosh, let me see. I always have the hardest time asking the questions, but I want to see something that would be helpful for everyone tonight. So let me kind of like go in and see what we would like to ask.
If you have kind of a general idea too, I can help talk you through how to phrase it.
I'm kind of like trying to tune into my entourage to say, hey, what is it I need to ask? So let me just get quiet and see what I need to ask.
Okay.
Cross my legs and go, okay. Because I don't necessarily want this to be about me. I want this to be about helping those people that are tuning in about what it is that they are looking to ask. So let's see. So where are we going with the financial markets in this point? Is this an important milestone, or is this a blip?
Okay, I'm going to write that down. I can, where are we going with the financial markets? Is it an important milestone or a blip? Was that what you were asking?
Yeah.
Okay, milestone or blip?
They literally said, is it a blip? So I'm asking this because I think a lot of people are thinking about in those terms. Is this long term? Is this a blip? Is this what? So what do the cards have to tell us about that as far as direction?
Okay, see what we get here. I should actually, I wonder if I should put my camera down so y'all can see the shuffling.
You could hold them up and just hold the
Yeah, I
cards.
will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once I get them out.
She's dealing her deck there.
I have a process. It is a process.
I know. I've watched her process. It's amazing. And by the way, while she's shuffling and stuff, don't know the next date of the next Mystic Fair at Center for Spiritual Living, but Laura's always there. And I always send people her direction because she does a great job at reading. So if the next fair, make sure you look her up. Are there some other ones too? Or do you do any other?
I do the Experience Psychic Fairs. The next one's in Ocala, and then we have one in Melbourne. Yeah. That's a little far for most people, but
yeah, but there's people there in the areas too. So
we'll be back in Saint Augustine in the fall for that one.
It's either going to be September, October. I'm not sure which. I don't think they've set the date yet.
Okay, so the first question was, where are we going with the financial picture? What's happening right now? We do get the card of conflict. It's a lot of times internal conflict, a lot of times competition, which might be what some people are trying to do with the financial picture, increase competition, trying to establish a power.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And
these cards are spot on. You can't make this stuff up. Holy
I know. And I will say this, I do not watch the news. I'm a ex-journalist. So a lot of journalists don't watch it anymore because it's hard to find a trusted source.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So that's why we're doing the cards, okay?
Yes. So I don't, like, when you talk about the financial picture, I have no idea what's happening. So I'm going to read the cards, and you might have to help me fill in the blanks with what's going on out there in the world. But this is what I'm getting. There's a lot of competition here. There's a lot of conflicting ideas. So some of what's happening is to improve the competition for people that want to be in power.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, interestingly, what is happening is spiritual.
Oh, that
It has
doesn't
a
surprise me a bit.
it has a spiritual element to it.
Yep. Yep.
And it's to put us in a better place, just spiritually. That's
Mhm.
it. To put us where we more need to be spiritually. So that light will come in.
Mhm.
That and then we can maybe help other people once we figure it out for ourselves. There's actually a lot of love in what's happening.
God, honestly, I've been feeling the same thing, even though it sounds so chaotic whenever I don't watch a lot of news. I watch enough just to keep an eye on what's going on.
Right.
But I mean, I've been feeling the same thing. It's kind of like, I know all this stuff is happening, but I also know that it's happening for us and not to
It's
us.
for us. Absolutely. It's for us, and it's to move us more to more of this, to
To,
more
to
humanitarian and spiritual society. That's it.
So it's something to shake us up, and the conflict and the power struggles right now are all leading to these things, these spiritual awakenings, these looking at things from a different perspective, because it is waking people up. I mean, people are protesting and they're going, we don't want this,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And so it's not like we're all powerless. We are powerful. What we just talked about, with the meditation about, calling in the light, calling in the prayers, calling in the sanity, and letting that light from above strike the water like the raindrop on a plane of water and let it ripple out. It doesn't have to be a big boom. It can
Yeah,
be subtle, and
yeah.
subtle, I think, many times is more productive. You know,
Yes, yes.
especially
So,
when you're talking about the spiritual realm.
so the second question you asked was, is it a milestone or is it a blip? It's karmic.
Wow.
It's justice. It's trying to bring things back into balance and the fairness. Um,
Wow.
yeah,
It's you can't make this up. You can't make this up. She just pulls the cards. It's not like she goes and looks in her deck
yeah.
and goes, oh, I want to talk about this one. She's like, oh, let's shuffle them. We ask some questions. This is the energy. And these are the cards. Laura, I don't think you could have been more spot on with that.
Good. Yeah,
With
and you'll
all
have to
of it.
interpret that with what's happening because I don't know,
Right.
like
Well, and again, you
financially.
not knowing what's going on as much as I do, and a lot of people that are listening in, I'm sure that they're going to draw their own conclusions, which is exactly what we want you to do. We don't want you to tell you what to think. We're
No,
going to give you an idea about this when we ask the question. And again, my intention was to ask a question that was pertinent um, for everyone, not just me, because
right.
where's the fun in that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I will say this, I don't exactly know. I mean, I hear bits and pieces. I don't exactly know what's going on financially, but about 6 months ago, I did hear Pamela Gregory. Do you know who she is?
No, who's Pamela
She's
Gregory?
an astrologer over in England, and she had a guest on her podcast or whatever. And they were talking about big shifts that were happening in the next few years. That's kind of been going around in the astrology circles
Yeah.
for a long time, that there's big shifts that are happening. But they've talked about some things that will be happening with the finances, and it is just that. It is just
Yeah.
to bring us back to balance and fairness, and
Because things have
so
definitely gotten out of balance for sure. I mean,
yes, things are
seriously.
definitely out of balance.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what's going on today, but maybe it's just a part of that whole thing
hmm
that
I,
a
I,
lot
I
of
think so. And
us.
and and incidentally, everybody, if you're listening, Melissa Markham is going to be on. She's our astrologer that comes here. She does practical astrology here. She's going to be on next month in May. And I was chatting with her when I saw her Sunday, and I was chatting with her, and she said, whatever's going on right now, we're looking at another like 4 years of this moving
Oh,
through
wow.
based on the astrological things that she's seeing. So this is not going to be quick as far as resolutions. It is going to take a minute, but it's kind of like when you live your life in one direction for so long, the cosmic 2x4 hits, it's going to be a little hard, and it takes a little time to get through the skull. I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So when you've been doing, and as our world, not just a country, but our world has been going along these lines that are not necessarily calling in that light and that love. And so what's happening is a course correction. It's
Yes.
karma,
Yeah.
like you
Absolutely.
said, the
Yeah.
karma part that makes, karma
Rebalance.
is it's not just an individual thing. It's a planetary thing. It's a universal thing. It's another immutable law.
So
And
it occurs to,
it has everything to do with love,
yes, it occurs to me that if you have not yourself been out of balance in your finances and how you handle yourself and all that stuff, it might not affect you terribly. I think it's going to affect the people who have been a little bit out of balance. You know what I mean?
It's about the spiritual laws of money, and it's about the spiritual laws of your finance. I mean, it's all about paying yourself first and giving from a full cup. What did I just say earlier? Right?
Yes.
So those are some important things. These are principles that I was introduced to in my 20s, and I found them fascinating. Some of the books that I read that got me there was one called The Wealthy Barber, and the other one was The Richest Man in Babylon. They're old books, okay, because I'm an old lady. So you're talking probably 40 years ago when these books were popular and stuff. They've been updated and changed and stuff. And I believe The Richest Man in Babylon is even older than The Wealthy Barber, but they're wonderful books and help you understand about finances, financial markets and things. And again, it's about energy, and it's about paying yourself first. It's about that. You cannot give from an empty cup, right?
Right. Yeah.
You have to learn about the creative no when you say, I can't help you because I'm not capable of that. Because if I help you, I won't have enough for me to take care of me. And I've given away all of my energy to you. And so it's about drawing lines and boundaries in all things. And it has to do with finances. It has to do with behaviors. It has to be done. It's all of it. It doesn't have to be one aspect. I mean, that's just how we learn about it, is in the different aspects, but it's all the same.
Right.
You have to be from a full cup.
Yeah.
So yeah. Wow. Let me see if there's another one here.
Yes, let's do another.
That was really awesome. Wow. That was
great. That's all. That's what it's all about.
All right. Let me see. Let me tune in and see what the question is. So, knowing that this is karmic, and knowing that all things are spiritual, and knowing that this ties in with all of those things, will the light continue to expand, and will humanity continue to rise? And if they rise, will their love expand? Wow.
Okay. Will their light continue to expand, and will humanity continue to rise? And if so, will the love expand? Yes? Was that it?
That sounds about right from what I remember, what I channeled.
Will the light continue to expand, and will
I went right into my heart chakra, and I saw the figure 8 come in there, and I was just like, whoa, and, and out it came.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Will expand and will.
Thank you, everyone, for the cool questions tonight. I usually suck at this. That's why I need to have help. And by the way, Little Miss Sunshine is actually being very good.
Okay, good.
She went to sleep on her little bed.
Okay, so that's a 3-part question. So let's start here.
Okay.
Will the light continue to expand? So this is actually more of instead of an expansion, it's more of a give and take.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So
Okay.
that is interesting. Okay.
Mhm.
This is always about a message that's coming in. So look for information. Usually with this, it's digital, email, text,
Mhm.
something like that, that will help you understand this better. The give and take as opposed to the light expanding. Okay.
So balance again. Give and take is about
Give and
balance.
take. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
All right. So that's the first part of the question. Will humanity continue to rise? We get the justice card again.
Wow.
Um, so this is more about, instead of rising, is more about a new cycle. So humanity is going into a new
New
cycle.
cycle. Okay.
Again, it's karmic.
It's
It was
karmic.
intended to happen right now. Does
Wow.
that make sense?
Makes complete sense to me.
Okay.
I
And
hope it
then
makes sense to these people out here that are listening.
and then
But
the
it makes
third
sense.
question was, will the love expand? Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is all about love. It's about childhood, really. Nostalgia. It's the only card in the deck that has just children in it. So it's like a childlike love expansion
Nice.
that grows from, you know, how it was really to me, it was a lot easier to love when I was a child because
Yeah.
there's that innocence, you know.
Right.
You don't know that people can hurt you so much
Right.
like you do when you get older. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, the love will continue to expand. And to me, this talks about connecting. It's about marriage. So it talks about your love will continue to expand, and it not forces you, it helps you to connect with people who are are in your love bubble. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I'm also kind of feeling as you're showing me those cards, because I'm picking up a little bit here too with looking at those cards. Um, the outcome is obviously, of course, being karmic, being soul lessons, being that kind of thing. Um, it's about reconnecting us because we've been so disconnected from one another. That whole marriage thing, that's because we're really not separate from each other. I just had this
Right.
conversation with my client this afternoon. We're not separate. We can't be separate. That's why we feel, others' emotions. That's why we sense when someone is upset or when somebody's happy, or something good has happened or something tragic has happened. We always sense it. We just know it even before we get the confirmation because we're reading that on that energetic connected level, right? So
And
I
it's reconnection from a childlike place of openness and love
and trust too.
and trust. Yeah.
Trust. Because children trust
Yeah.
until they're taught not to trust because of their life experiences and disappointments. And we all have to get back to that childlike aspect of ourselves. Um, and learn that not everything is awful,
Yeah.
and not every person is awful, you
Right.
know,
Right.
and no matter what, each person is that loving expression of the divine, at their core.
Yes.
Humanity is an expression of that. And so no matter what you see in another person, at their core, they are still that.
Yes.
We have to learn to appreciate that and
Yes.
to accept the differences, right? That's
Absolutely.
right.
Absolutely.
Accept the differences because we are all snowflakes. No two of us are alike.
That's
You know,
right.
we have
Which is really cool.
similarities. We have similarities, but there's no two of us that are alike. So, it's time to, I think, kind of embrace that. And so if that's where all of this turmoil is taking us, then I say wrap us in light, wrap us in love, help us all on our healing paths, and love us to our expansion.
Yes. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. Very helpful. Wow. I think we might have time for one more.
Okay. Let's do it.
Let me see. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm almost afraid to ask this question. because I think I already know the answer. And this one is about. This is not. So maybe you can help me with the question, Laura.
Okay.
My cat, Sasha, will be 15 years old on the 15th of this month.
Oh, yeah.
I have had her since she was an 8-week-old kitten.
Oh, wow.
And I know that obviously every minute is a gift.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that overall she's doing well, but I want to know, what I really want to know more than anything else is she comfortable?
Okay.
Is she being cared for in the best way that supports her comfort and ease without, without invasion and without trauma? And
Okay.
then the second part of that question, is there anything I can do that I'm not already doing to assist her?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
And y'all, I'm sorry if this one's about me.
That's okay.
She my boo too.
All right. Let's see what we get here. So, Cat Sasha, is she comfortable being cared for in the best way? And yeah. Okay. And then anything that Mo can do. She's not anything that Mo can do.
By the way, while she's pulling these cards, I'm going to remind you that her website is sandytoetarot, right,
Yes.
.com.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I'll make sure that we put that in the comments when the video gets done. So if you guys want to reach out, Laura does these things in person. She also does them online, and she is just, as you can see, pretty phenomenal to work with.
Fun. I love doing it. Okay. First question. I do feel, first of all, this is Sasha. She's looking forward. You know what I mean? She knows. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, I
she's
do.
looking forward to what's next. What's next for me? This is kind of like where Sasha's at.
Yeah.
I do feel like you have some confusion sometimes about is it questioning or confusion or internal conflict about should I do this or do that or
Yes.
what? Okay.
Yes.
You have very clear direction coming to you from the divine. So trust that whenever you do have this confusion, that the direction for you is very clear. And it's that way on purpose because the divine gets that the emotional aspect of it. This is
Yeah. It's
this
hard.
this is not an emotional person. This is a Libra energy, King of Swords. They're smart. They have a lot of clarity. They know exactly what to do. So that is what the divine is doing for you right now in this.
So I need to just stick with what I feel is best for her and not be, okay. Thank you.
The directions that you're getting, very clear. And particularly look for it when you have the confusion.
Gotcha. Thank you. That is so helpful.
Anything that you can do that you're not already doing, no, this is about, it's about peace, it's about respite, it's about moving on to brighter days. Brighter days are ahead. You're absolutely helping Sasha with her transition here.
Okay.
She is, you are a gift to her in that way. You are steering the boat. Does that make sense? You're helping her.
Yeah.
In her journey. Are you familiar with the river Styx?
Yes.
I'm not. So if that means anything to you, that's what came to me. So
Crossing the river. Yep, cross over.
Okay,
Got it.
that's
Okay.
So again, Sasha's here. She's looking
Mhm.
toward, what's next for me.
Yeah.
And you are helping her in her transition. There's so, I hate to say this, but Sasha has so much excitement
Oh, I
about.
know. Her body is, her hips bother her, and she's uncomfortable in that respect because, and I can really tell that it's bothering her more. And I place my hands on her, and my hands heat up immediately, and I know that's going on. And I do a lot of things for her, but there are certain things that she's just not going to allow. And then there's also things I don't want to be super intrusive. I mean,
Oh yeah.
certain things I could do and take her to the vet and say, okay, take her blood and let's see what's going on. And all they're going to do is confirm that which I already know. And there's not a damn thing I can do anything about.
You're doing absolutely everything that you can do. You're a guardian angel for her in this journey, but it's all systems go for her. She's ready.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. When her
She's
time
ready to
comes,
move
she's gonna
forward.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured, I think she's just sticking around a little bit longer. She's doing well. I'm not saying that she's not doing well. I've done her, I do, she gets a good diet, she gets fresh food. And then also, I use my Beamer, my pulsed electromagnetic
Yeah,
field bed
yeah.
on her, which she's been using it now for 2 years, and it's made a tremendous amount of difference. And for a 15-year-old cat, she still moves good, she's still interactive, she does so much of that stuff. But I can tell in the last, we lost Shadow in September.
Yes,
And I
yes.
can tell from September to now, I can start to see her decline. And I think she's been holding on and being with me because she wants to make sure that I'm settled with Sunshine before she moves on. I know that. The two of them sleep in the bed with me every night.
Wow.
She's on the pillow right here, right snuggled up with me here. And this one, the bed hog over here, is plastered up against my side. So, when Shadow was leaving me, my question was, I was like, what's going to happen now? I don't know what I'm going to do because I'm going to lose Shadow. And then I know I'm going to lose Sasha because she's next.
They're
I
just
know.
older. Yeah.
Right. It is what it is, the circle of life, which I understand. And trust me, I have all people understand that. I do pet mediumship. I talk to animals after they've passed. And
Oh,
I
wow.
know what they're like. And I was gifted with a vision of Shadow shortly after he passed. Not only was I was crying and I was holding his collar, and not his collar, it was his blanket. And all of a sudden I felt like I was there with him. My hand was on his chest, and then I became him, and then I could see where he was, and he was running. He was
Oh, cool.
free,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
and I was like, he's okay. He's okay.
Yeah.
So I got that gift, and I know that, but I was like, what am I gonna do when I lose both of them? And so
Yes,
I think
yeah.
she's sticking around until this one gets to be old enough to quit being a twerp. Because she's a
So y'all
puppy.
can bond.
So well, exactly. I mean, we're bonding anyway. She's great.
Yeah.
And I say twerp because she's a puppy. She's, short
Oh,
attention
yeah.
span reader, but like I'm
Yeah.
noticing in the last week or so, she's doing better walking on the leash. She's behaving herself. She's coming into line more, and she's doing more of the things that I wish for her to do, and she's being able to focus better. So yeah, I think that's what she's waiting for. I just do.
Well, bless her heart.
Yeah,
She's gonna
no.
be she's gonna be fine.
Yeah, she's gonna be.
And
I know
she
she's gonna be fun.
and
Her
she's
mother is
lucky to
gonna be a
have you.
wreck. Yeah, her mother is gonna be a wreck. But
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that I'm doing for her everything that I can do. And
Yeah, absolutely.
even though I do animal communication, and just so you guys know, even though I do animal communication, even though I do pet mediumship, I do animal reiki, and I do all of that stuff. When it's your own, it's hard because you second guess everything. Like if I was at somebody's house and I was talking to that ancient animal, I would be able to have that dialogue and stuff. But when your heart's in the middle of it, it's a little more difficult.
I can't read my own tarot cards because you're too emotionally attached to the situation. It's just
Yeah,
not gonna
no, it's
work.
like,
Yeah.
I don't want to know. Somebody's got to tell me because I don't want
Yeah.
to look. It's like, I want to know, but I don't.
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy. It is crazy. Wow. Well, boy, I can't believe we've only got about 4 minutes till we sign off. But Laura, I seriously want to thank you for coming on tonight, saying yes.
Sure, it was I had a great time.
Yeah, and again, I'm going to put that in the comments and stuff. If anybody needs to get in touch with Laura, please do so. She does a great job. If you are in St. Augustine and want to come to a live like tarot workshop learning circle, cannot recommend Laura's highly enough. I've attended more than one, and they are fabulous. And I wish I could attend all of them, but if I did, I'd just live here forever. So.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah,
something going on every night. Yes.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I have to go home because, I've got the dog, I've got the cats, and the husband who just retired.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot going on there too. But I really want to thank you guys, for tuning in tonight. Laura, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
I appreciate that. If you guys, we're going to be transitioning these things over to YouTube because Facebook is changing their storage stuff. So hopefully by the time we get to May, everything will be switched over. So we'll go to YouTube. And there are some of these that I am going to download and move over to YouTube, but not all of them because we have years worth of this stuff. It would take me forever and I just don't have the time. So I'm going to pick some of them and put them on, and then we're going to start fresh at YouTube and have that going on for us. But again, oh, and I forgot, I always do this at the beginning. St. Augustine Reiki Exchange Meetup. If you're not a member, join. Said it a million times, so you guys know. Go do that. Last month we were at 1906, and this month we're at 1918. So we continue.
Wow. Continue to grow. Yeah.
We have tons and tons of wonderful events. And if you ever want to know a quick way to get to the meetup, if you go to healingwithmo.com and you go under Mystic Light Center, it'll say on there for all the events, check the St. Augustine Reiki Exchange meetup, and there's a link to get you there. So healingwithmo.com under Mystic Light Center, go. Lots of cool stuff. So once again, Laura, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Thank everybody for tuning in. Thanks, Sunshine, for not making me crazy tonight. She knows her name. And thanks for always supporting the work. We really appreciate it. You guys, bright blessings, much love. Laura, hope to see you soon.
See you soon.
Take care, everyone. Take care of yourself, and hopefully this was helpful to all of you. Thanks, darlings. Bye.